Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Nash.
And I'm Maya.
And we are obviously not peaugh. We are from a channel called the Jurassic Ark. We're a much smaller channel than peaugh, but he and I have met several times in the past. And we've been talking for a couple weeks about this new type of video that we want to start. And it's called One Shall Stand. It is basically pitting two figures that are the same character from different generations off against each other to see who has the best out of 6 categories. In every category, we're going to rate them from 1 to 10, and whoever has the best rating at the end will win, will be the one left standing. So with all that being said, I am going to focus my video today on MP-10, and unfortunately all of my other MP-10 molds were stolen. So I am only left with the Year of the Horse version, which is unfortunate, but still I can attest to how great the original MP-10 figure is. peaugh is working on MPM-4, which is the movie masterpiece Optimus Prime. So with all that said, I'll let peaugh do some talking, and then back to us.
Yes, and welcome to One Shall Stand. It's a new little thing that we're going to try out here and see how it plays. I've been enjoying the idea and the concept and putting this together. So thank you again, Nash, for proposing the idea. And it's just kind of a head-to-head look at different versions of characters and how we feel about them individually. So obviously he's got MP-10, so I'm doing MPM-4 Optimus. I've forgotten to flip this little panel in here because that's how I do things. There we go. I should close up over that. So, right off the bat, having fun. But yeah, we're going to compare them back and forth and talk about how, rate them all on various aspects and see who wins. It's really all it comes down to. It's just all done in the spirit of fun, so let's get it started.
Alright, so this time we are talking about painting and sculpting on this figure. And for MP-10, all the way across the board, I think he is a very well sculpted figure. Let's look at the trailer first, since this is, not the main show. The trailer looks very nice. Everything from Teletran 1 to the rifle to the axe to just this nice sculpted detail all throughout the trailer is beautiful. It just looks amazing, and even turned around, he just has these brilliantly gold Autobot signs on the normal one. They are, of course, red and normal. They've changed everything to translucent for the trailer as an homage to when he transformed, the trailer would just vanish. I love MP-10 as a whole, and I think that this trailer is not bad. MP-10 across the board, though, is just a very nicely sculpted figure. There are no differences other than the paint. When it comes to sculpting. That face sculpt is amazing. I love it so much. I mean, even the molded detail on the matrix chamber is pretty phenomenal. I mean, it's a very well done figure. Everything around him, when you get to the back, it can get a little bit ugly. He's not completely show accurate. That show, as you know, changed quite a bit. Every episode they looked a little different. He has a lot of screw holes on his back, and it's not quite as pretty to look at. So sculpting and painting, the painting is really well done. Even though it's gold chrome, I've never had a chipping problem with him. On my original MP-10 or my EVA MP-10, I never had any paint chipping issues. Even on my BAPE MP-10, nothing went wrong with it. No paint chipping, no problems, no nothing. So I'm going to give the painting and sculpting an 8 out of 10, simply because he is not perfect to the show, but he is beautiful to look at and a very good figure. All right, off to you, peaugh.
And so our first category here is paint and sculpt. And as you can see, the paint on this guy is really phenomenal. They've even got the little pinstriping around the flames, all the detail on the back. I do wish that they had painted some of these dark gray bits. I mean, the gray on the actual inner frame of the robot, like in his body, I don't mind so much. I wish they painted the end caps of these little canisters on his shoulders. But all in all, like, it's a really nice paint job. It's a really nice sculpt. I think it's a very good-looking sculpt in representation of movie Optimus Prime. Obviously, it's not 100% perfect because there's just some bits that you can't move around the way that the movie can with CGI, but I think it's a very fine representation of what we saw on screen and as Optimus Prime in the Michael Bay movies. And so therefore, paint and sculpt, like I said, the paint's top notch. The sculpt is really detailed and neat. And so I give him a 9 out of 10 on painting and sculpting.
All right, this time we're talking about articulation. I'm going to talk about the trailer first, just because it's more relevant. The trailer has has a hinge at the base, a double hinge at the center of the neck, and a hinge with a swivel attached to the top for the guns and everything in the cockpit can open. This arm is very articulated, again, with another double hinge right here, another double hinge up at the base of it, and the claw can open and close, and the radar dish up top can spin all the way around and move up and down freely. Unfortunately, this version does not come with spike or spark plug, but they really didn't have any articulation either. They could sit down. Now for Optimus. He has a swivel at the base of the neck, and he can look up and down and all around, and the antenna can move depending on how you want to pose him. The arms rotate a full 360 degrees without any problems. He has a bicep swivel. The arms can move back, but that's more for transformation. If you want more of an intense outward motion, you pull this joint out and that will reveal it. Otherwise, when it's just straight up to the body, there is no real outward motion. You have to pull that joint out, which makes it look a bit uglier. Again, bicep swivel, wrist swivel, fingers do open and close. Main index finger is on its own joint with a joint at the knuckle, and the other three are connected and do not have any more articulation than that. He does have a really nice waist swivel. I love that about him, that they, could incorporate that in. He has, I can't tell if it's a ball joint. No, it's a ratchet joint, but it's weird because outward, he has a nice, really nice spread. You can do almost the full splits. But yeah, swivel at the leg, forward, back, thigh rotation, knee rotation. His thigh joint is up with that. So knee rotation, deep bend at the knee, and then he does have some ankle pivot. Overall, really good articulation. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 because you can pull off some really good poses with this figure, especially when we get to accessories. But we will get to that here after peaugh talks about posability, the articulation.
So moving on to articulation, again, a really bang-up job on him. He's got just about everywhere you would want articulation, a lot of ratcheting joints, biceps, swivels. He's got opening fingers, although again, it's not every finger doesn't articulate, but he's got a posable index finger, posable thumbs, and wrist swivel. He's even got a waist swivel down here, although you have to kind of bang some stuff out of the way to get to it. Thigh swivel down here behind the wheel. Ankle motion in all the directions. And for such a beautifully sculpted piece, all the little details and bits, they've worked an incredible amount of articulation into his figure. And again, that's a 9 out of 10 for me here on Masterpiece. Granted, with a Masterpiece, you kind of expect that level of detail and commitment to the final figure, although it doesn't always work out. I'm trying to think of a Masterpiece that was really bad. They've all been pretty decent. But this one, I feel, again, you can get him into some really nice poses, and he's incredibly movable. So for articulation, again, a 9 out of 10.
Alright, what's up everybody? This time we are talking about accessories, and just so you know, me and peaugh have not watched each other's videos. We're just putting them together, and at the end we're going to find out who wins just simply off of our opinions. And remember, these are our opinions. You may hate these figures and may love them. Whatever it is, this is just what we think. For accessories on Optimus Prime, like I said, he generally would come with spark plug and spike and roller, and unfortunately this version doesn't, so I can't show it off, but they're awesome. They're awesome accessories to have. The accessories are as follows. He has the traditional ion blaster, this time in a different color because it's the Year of the Horse version. This is actually kind of nice though, because you can, if it stays with you, you can fold it up, come to the back, put it in his backpack, fold it back up, And there's your weapon storage if you don't want to keep it in the trailer. Otherwise, just remove it, press this black button right on the end, and boom, weapon's out again. As any Masterpiece figure really has, you can clip the weapon. There's a peg right here on the handle, and you can just peg that right into his hand, and then close the hand around it. And, you know, it's the ion blaster that Optimus has had since 1984, and before, in Diaclone. Nothing really too special about it. It's cool, though. And then, for some reason, one of the most iconic weapons ever, the axe, which was only seen briefly in one episode after he called Megatron a jerk. You know, it's sculpted nicely. It's just a nice blue Energon axe, and it has some nice spines around the base that are soft rubber plastic. This whole thing is a soft rubber, or a soft plastic. It's nothing to write home about, you know. It's the Energon axe. It's a fine accessory. And as I said, he would normally come with roller and spark plug. They can sit in these cockpits right here when the trailer is down. And to put the trailer down, there are legs on the base of it. Sorry about that. Legs on the base here that just fold out, and as they fold out, there are gears that make stabilizers come out. And to add more stabilization to it, you can pull down these legs. And this just kind of sets up more of a battle station and something where you can have Spike and Spark Plug just sit. Normally Optimus will stand under it, but this is it's a very versatile trailer, and this is one of the coolest accessories. I mean, they sell for crazy amounts online. I do like the clear trailer, I'm going to be honest. I know a lot of people don't. It's a good accessory, though. Overall, I give the accessories an 8 out of 10. I think it would have been nice to see a little bit more than what we got, even on the normal MP-10. But overall, great accessories. No complaints here. Yeah, off to you, peaugh.
All right, accessories. Now, here's his main. This is more of a feature than an accessory, but he does have the rotatable face sculpt. So if you can have him with his faceplate or with his unfaceplated face. Not really an accessory, but a feature that I didn't really get in anywhere. I guess I could have talked about that in screen accuracy. But again, we'll bring it up again. So not really an accessory, more of a feature. The accessories he does come with are 2 of his little battle blade things, and then his gun, which he can hold. He can hold the gun in his hand. He's got to slide it in here and tab it in. Helps if you bend his fingers the right way to go through it. But he can hold the gun in his hand, and then the blades, each one slots in. You move his wrist out of the way, and there's a little tab back there, so you can slot it in behind his wrist. But that's it. You get 3 accessories, and they're nicely integrated into the figure. But there's only, I mean, like I said, you don't get a plethora of accessories. And you could have also done, he's got the blades, but he doesn't have the battle hooks. So I'm dinging him a couple points for that. Because like I said, it's only 3 accessories, but how many more do you need for Movie Optimus? I mean, he's got the essentials aside from the battle hooks. So dinging him a couple points for only having the blades and not also the hooks. So he gets a 7 out of 10 on accessories.
Alright guys, now we're talking about screen accuracy, and screen accuracy for this figure is about as good as it can get. As you all know who have seen G1, he never looked the same in any frame. It always would change, as with the... Oh, I forgot to show one thing off in the accessories portion. My bad, that is the Matrix of Leadership, that is die-cast. I'm so sorry about that. I'm not going to pull it out because it's a pain, but yeah, the Matrix, I'm so sorry. That is my mistake. Screen accuracy for Optimus is amazing. He looks great. The only thing I think can look better than him is the anything that doesn't really transform. Any of those big statuette figures or any of the busts. Transforming, of course, takes away from screen accuracy because they need to fit in a need to transform. But when it comes to a figure being able to transform and look perfect to the screen, I think this is it. I know the new updated Masterpiece Optimus might look better, but when it comes down to it, this Optimus is amazing. When it comes to screen accuracy, I give him a 10 out of 10. I just think he is awesome looking. He's beautiful. You can recreate any scene from the show or movie basically with him because of how posable and accurate he is. So with all that being said, off to you, peaugh. Sorry about forgetting about the Matrix.
All right, screen accuracy is up next, and again, this one is very nice. It's not 100% accurate to the screen. It is. It takes a few liberties, again, because it's not a CGI toy. You can't play with a CGI toy. I mean, I guess you could if you had a powerful Mac and some rigging software and some CG software. But all in all, it's a very bang-up sculpt matching the films. Like I said, as I mentioned in the previous segment, not even does it look like the Optimus Prime, but you can switch his faces between his unface-plated face and his face-plated look, which is just a little extra touch to give him that screen accurate. Because like I feel like, iconically to me, Optimus Prime has the faceplate. That's just how it is. But in the movies, he has it in the movies. You see it in the movies, but for the most part, and they could have done it like this and had a great figure. But for the most part in the movies, you often see him without the faceplate. And the fact that they gave you that option really helped. I mean, I feel like that version is a little bit more screen accurate than the faceplated one, only because he went without the faceplate for so much of the movies. So yeah, very screen accurate, very nice. Not 100%. Like I said, there's some bits like the way the forearms work and everything that don't quite work the same way as the movie does. But again, very nicely, pretty much about as close as you could get in a toy. So I'm giving him a 9 out of 10 for screen accuracy.
Alright guys, and this time we are talking about transformation difficulty, and for the sake of time we are not showing the transformations on camera. This figure and MPM Optimus have been reviewed hundreds of times, so we're just talking about what we think about the transformations, and honestly speaking, this is one of my favorite transformations ever. He is so much fun to transform. I can do it over and over and over again all day and not get bored of it. He's just a good time. He's clean. I mean, there is no robot kibble on him whatsoever. The only issue that I have with his ultimate mode is with his transformation, is the fact that unless you have the trailer pegged in, these back legs won't really stick together. So what you have to do is there's a 2-prong set right there, and then he has 2 slots right here. You just peg those in together, and he sticks. They go together perfectly at that point. Rubber wheels, so he rolls really well. Just overall, one of the most fun transformations out of any Transformer I've ever played with. One that I can do over and over and over again and not get sick of. With that being said, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. I just think he is so much fun. Alright, peaugh, off to you.
Alright, so transformation difficulty. It's a little, it's fiddly. And like I said, there's some neat stuff they do. They do some elegant things. It's very similar to the Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime, although obviously with more bits and bobbles to push around and stuff. But getting everything lined up, you can see I still haven't gotten it done right here. Getting this thing to sit flat and getting these pipes to line up. There's just a lot of little tricks that are very difficult on this guy. And it's neat, it's involved, but it's not always intuitive, and it's not for the faint of heart. Not for the faint of heart. It's not super bad. It's not the worst transformation I've ever had to deal with, but it's fairly complex, and it involves really being aware of a lot of little places that where everything has to go together just right. And so I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. It's interesting, but it's not intuitive, and it's a little difficult. So 6 out of 10 for MPM-5 transformation wise.
All right, now we're going to talk about the actual alt mode, and I know I did a little bit just a second ago, but in terms of screen accuracy with the alt mode and everything, obviously this Optimus isn't like the original MP-10 Optimus. He's very different. The clear trailer I like, but I preferred the original MP-10. I'm sad I don't have him anymore. But the alt mode's pretty close to what the show represented. I mean, it is an older semi-truck. It is unmistakably Optimus Prime with that beautiful Autobot symbol there. Or if you had the original, the stripe that ran through his trailer. On this one, something that is kind of cool is the Year of the Horse Autobot sign on the back of the trailer. And the trailer can, of course, open up, and this ramp can drop down, and you can fit up to, I believe, 2 smaller MP vehicles in there. So just close that up. On the front, if you got the original, I'm just going to set this off to the side and talk about the vehicle now with those handy stabilizers. With this, if you have spike and spark plug, there are 2 seats right here and right here that they can fit in. He does have some visible head syndrome though. As long as you don't turn the face around though, you're not going to notice it. The detailing on the car is minimalistic, as most masterpieces are. It's a good, clean truck mode. Nothing else to really say about it. It leaves a little to be desired, especially back at the legs, but there's not much else they could have really done with it. With that being said, I'm going to give Masterpiece 10 Optimus Prime a 9 out of 10 on his vehicle mode.
And alt mode thoughts. I think it's a really nice representation of the on-screen truck. Now, obviously, here he's got the gun and the blades here just kind of plug into the truck back for, at least it does store, but it really pulls away from the look of the truck itself. So I'm just going to set those aside. But again, there are some gaps here, although again, that goes back to the transformation difficulty and getting everything lined up. But just as a representation of the actual alt mode on screen, I think for a toy that actually transforms and still has a nice alt mode, I'm fairly impressed with it. It's got nice detailing. The paint is all very well done on this, and I think it is very recognizable as the truck for the movie, or from the movie. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 on the alt mode.
All right, everybody. So this is it. This is the conclusion, and I wanted to thank you, peaugh, for letting me be on your channel and doing this show with you. It means a lot to me. I have really enjoyed doing this series. I have done one of these with my wife already on our channel for Masterpiece Grimlock versus Studio Series Age of Extinction Grimlock. And this is out of 60 points. Every category has 10 points possible. It all adds up to 60. Basic math. And Masterpiece 10 Optimus Prime, for me, gets a 54 out of 60 points. I think he is a beautifully well done figure in any of the variants that you can get. He is a fun figure to toy around with. You don't have to worry about messing him up at all, unless you're really, really, really brutal with him. He's sturdy, he's fun, he's easy to handle, easy to transform, but not too easy. He has some great accessories, especially if you get the original version. Overall, that's all I have to say about this figure. He is awesome, and as I said, my name is Nash.
And I'm Maya.
And we are from the Jurassic Ark. Feel free to stop by and check us out. We are a much smaller channel, as I said in the beginning. But yeah, peaugh, what is your final verdict? And tell them your thoughts on this series and what you want to do with it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a good one.
All right, so final verdict here. We add everything up. We had a 9 for paint and sculpt. We had a 9 for articulation, a 7 on the accessories, 9 for screen accuracy, 6 for the transformation difficulty, and 8 for the alt mode, which brings us to 48 out of 60 for MPM-5. Is it MPM-5? MPM-3? Hold on, I've got the instruction sheet right here. MPM-4. Wow, I wasn't even right even with 2 guesses. So 48 out of 60 on MPM-4, the movie Optimus Prime Masterpiece, which means that MP-10 is the winner for this time around. So again, I'd like to thank Nash for bringing this up. This is a great idea, I think. It's just something different. I mean, that's one of the things I've kind of been looking for and not really knowing what to do is just something to swap it up and do something different every now and then. And so I kind of jumped at the chance when he proposed it. So thank you, Nash, for the proposal. Hopefully this is something that we'll do semi-regularly and you all enjoy it. So let me know what you think and let him know what you think. Go over to his channel and subscribe over there because, like I said, a lot of the credit for this, pretty much all the credit for this has to go to him aside from me shooting my parts. That's all I did in this. This was his little brainchild, and I had a good time doing it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for the next One Shall Stand.